Empezamos entonces. ¿No?
Let's get started. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the sponsors of the FIP project for swordfish and blue shark, we would like to welcome you to the Sustain Hook program, which has been created with the purpose within the framework of the FIP Blues project, with the goal of raising awareness among civil society and also the stakeholders, such as NGOs, all of the actions that we carry out, all of the projects developed, that is the essence of the FIP Blues program. Last July, we organized the first event in the program, which was a meeting between the producers and members of the fourth subcommission of the ICAT. And because commercialization is also a key aspect in the project, we would like to dedicate one specific webinar to the issue of commercialization. So we would like to welcome, in particular, Dr. Teresa Coelho, which is the Secretary of State of the Fisheries from Portugal, Mr. Jesús Vázquez, the President of the Port Authority of Vigo, Mrs. Rodríguez, the Regional Minister of Fisheries Innovation and Aquaculture. And then on streaming, we would like to greet Mrs. Carola González, General Vice Director of Aquaculture, Fisheries, Commercialization and Fisheries from the Regional Ministry of Fisheries, the General Director of the Regional Ministry of Commerce in Vigo, and also to the Director of the Marine Biodiversity section of the Ministry of Ecological Transition. To all those who are following online, we would like to greet you and thank you for attending the seminar. But before starting, I'd like to explain a few things. There is interpretation into English. You will all have received a tutorial for selecting your language. And if it's possible, because of time reasons, we will dedicate some time to Q&A at the end of the webinar. First of all, I'd like to greet Mr. Jesús Vázquez, the President of the Port Authority, who's going to officially open the seminar. Thank you very much, Mr. President, for cooperating with us, for hosting the event at your facilities and providing the technical means. Thank you very much. You have the floor, President. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My first goal is to welcome you all at this facility. I think it's located in a very special place. The weather today is not as nice as yesterday. However, I do believe that the cruise part of the port of Vigo gives you a very clear idea of the stewardship of Vigo and the swordfish fleet, which is located over there. We are very happy to host the swordfish fleet, and also because of my family ties to this type of fishery. The Secretary of State of Fisheries from Portugal, Dr. Coelho, also to the Regional Minister of Aquaculture and Innovation in Fisheries, Mrs. Rodríguez, the Vice Director of Structural Actions of the Regional Ministry of Fisheries, Mrs. Carola González, who is following online, Vice Director of Terrestrial and Marine Biodiversity of the General Directorate of Biodiversity, Desertification and Forests of the Ministry for the Climate Challenge and Ecological Transition, following online, the Director of the General Directorate of Vigo of the Ministry of Commerce and Tourism, Dr. Patricia Pérez, the President of one of the entities integrated in FIP Blues, Mr. Emilio Martinez. Dear authorities, ladies and gentlemen, welcome all to this port, which is an important hub that shows the trade in the port of Vigo. It's a great pleasure for me to collaborate in the introduction of the FIP Blues Fisheries Improvement Project, organized by OPROMAR, ORPAGO, OPP, 7 from Lugo, etc. This project focuses today on the campaign for promoting bluefin shark, blue shark, and swordfish, which are two long-line species which are very selective and does not catch target species. Our fleet follows some very strict sustainability guidelines and procedures which have nothing to do with those followed by other competing fleets. This fishery has been a pioneer in the implementation of the electronic surveillance, and the FIP Blues initiative began in July 2019. We also collaborated with them back then. It was launched internationally in 2019. However, the pandemic actually delayed the many actions tackled under the umbrella of the project, which has 5 main objectives: ensuring a sustainable long line surface fishery, promoting and making available to the scientific community accountable data, allowing the coverage of observers on board the fleet, and raising awareness in the civil society about the commitments and efforts of the longliners for the conservation of the marine ecosystems. We have also supported many initiatives that are important for the sector, for the port of Vigo, where the swordfish fleet, for instance, is landing their catches. This is the main goal of the project, which is supported by the port of Vigo. This project integrates all of the swordfish longliners landing in the port of Vigo, which reached the number of 160 fishing vessels, which entails 80% of the European production, comprising the 4 producers organizations that I have already mentioned, plus 14 companies, many of them or most of them linked to the port of Vigo: Grupo Botas, Espaderos del Atlántico, Fernández Ibáñez, Pérez Piñeiro, Maravilla, Benzemar, Mar Pelagic, Mar Frío, Nor Ibérica, Mascato, Anxomar, Congemar, and Brasna. This is a Portuguese company. And at the same time, blue shark and swordfish are 2 species in which the port of Vigo specializes, and they're very important both for frozen and fresh fish. They stand for some of the most valuable species in the sense of kilos sold in the port of Vigo, and this amount has increased this year compared to last year. In the case of blue shark, it has increased 25%, and our main export targets are Italy, Portugal, Brazil, and France. Therefore, it has a very high weight in the exports from the port of Vigo, and also linked to a historical element of the port of Vigo. The accord for the importance of sustainability of fisheries in the port of Vigo is very important for fishermen and also for the port. That is why we are interested in providing all of our support to this kind of initiative. The Port of Vigo has a very close relationship with the FAO. We have been working together for many, many years now. And the Vigo Port Authority is also aligned with the Blue Growth Vigo Sustainable Growth Strategy. That is why we intend to include this project into our 21-27 smart growth strategy, so as to also help the compliers with achieving their objectives. The Port of Vigo has been working for years to make our fishing port the most sustainable, and therefore we will welcome any initiative along those lines, which will always have our support. I'd like also to make the occasion to thank Dr. Teresa Coelho for showing the involvement and the commitment between Portugal and Galicia. Yesterday, we were introducing a transborder European project, the Ecological, with important and relevant participation of institutions and experts from our dear Portuguese neighbors. And I think Vigo must remain a solid hub of relationships between the northwestern regions of the Iberian Peninsula. We are very interested in maintaining our close ties with Portugal. Therefore, thank you very much, Teresa. Thanks to the whole Portuguese government for their involvement in developing joint projects that will bring benefit to both countries. So thank you very much for your attendance. I wish you will enjoy the seminar. We will be dealing with different topics. We will be even touching upon health and medicine issues. And well, just in summary, we are promoting the sustainability of the fishing system, not just the ecologic sustainability, but also the social and economic sustainability, and also guaranteeing the food safety of seafood users. Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. President. We're going to invite Patricia Pérez Martinez, who is going to address a few words to the audience. I'm going to be very brief. I would just like to take the opportunity to thank you all on behalf of the Secretariat of State and Commerce from the Ministry of Industry and Tourism. It's a pleasure to attend the second presentation of this project so as to learn about all the work that you have carried out so far and your plans for the future, everything that is related to fisheries, sustainability. In the case of blue shark and swordfish, I'm a little bit nervous because I'm not very used to speaking in public. And I would also like to highlight the fact that all of the work that's been carried out is teamwork under the umbrella of a cooperative project, which is even more important because there are many stakeholders in the project following the same goal, which is sustainability, and that we all wish for, particularly in issues related to fisheries. So I do hope that this seminar will be disseminated as much as possible, because I believe it is very important to raise awareness in the general public and not just among final users. I hope this is going to be a role model to follow by other surface longliners from other countries so that they can join the initiative, and so that all of the effort made by the crewmen, by the ship owners, by all those involved in the fisheries will feel supported by also the actions of third parties. And I would also like to make a comment about one of the actions which is going to be important for the future for one of the species related to the fishery, which is the short fin mako shark. The fact that we should improve information and data available to the scientists, because scientists are responsible for managing the stocks. So I hope that in the future, once they make a reassessment of the short fin mako shark stock, they will make decisions based on scientific data. And I do hope that in the future, purely scientific data will be used to make assessments about stocks. Thank you. Thank you very much, Patricia. You have done it very well. And on behalf of the whole sector, I would like to thank you for all the work that you have carried out in recent years. Since the short fin mako shark has become part of the annex, we have had to follow a lot of bureaucracy in order to add these species to the list, but we have always relied on you to do all the work, so thank you.
Buenos días a todos. Siento el retraso por un problema técnico, pero ya estoy aquí. Desde el Ministerio de Transición Ecológica y Reto Demográfico consideramos que todo este tipo de acciones son excelentes porque la pesca solo
We
puede ser.
consider that all these actions are excellent because fisheries has to be sustainable. In fact, this project matches what the Ecological Transition Ministry and the General Secretariat of Fisheries are doing right now, which is launching a national plan for the reduction of the bycatches in fisheries activities. We understand at the ministry that we need to reduce as much as possible the interaction of species, of non-target species, especially birds and marine turtles, cetaceans, with the fisheries activity. The Spanish longline fleet has worked on this for a lot of times, for a lot of years, and there are measures that already prevent the damage to seabirds. But anything that helps to improve sustainability is great, and we will support the operators and NGOs to move forward on this sustainability issue. I hope this workshop will be very successful and we can learn a lot of the work that is being conducted. Thank you very much.
Maybe Carola González would like to take the floor. She's online also. Carola, are you there? Good morning, Carola. Thank you very much for attending the seminar. Thank you. So I guess it's my turn to speak, correct? Yeah, given that Rafael is not online. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure for me
momento con vosotros y de participar en
to share this webinar with all of you and to be able to greet all of the organizations involved in the FIP. The fact that the surface longliners fleet continues to make efforts in order to improve the sustainability of the fishery just goes to show the long tradition of the fishing activity in Spain and its importance for providing top quality food. On behalf of the General Secretariat of Fisheries, we also believe in sustainability. We understand that sustainability is the type of development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the needs of the future and striking a balance among the three pillars, which is economic growth, social welfare, and taking care of the environment. Last March, we signed an agreement of cooperation between the General Secretariat and the organizations in the FIP Blues project with the goal of improving the fisheries of swordfish and blue shark. And within the framework of these agreements, the Secretariat has highlighted the improvement measures implemented for the surface longliners fleet in order to guarantee the sustainability of the fleet by means of implementing sustainable practices. I would also like to highlight the importance of this cooperation between the sector and the administration with the goal of searching for common goals. The Secretariat has taken part in different meetings with the FIP. We have evaluated the presence of the electronic observer and physical observer online, and we have also included a tag for the short-fin mako shark in the south, and we have also supported the actions of the FIP in the community framework and the RFMOs with the purpose of disseminating the main features of the agreement. The Secretariat believes that it's important to develop a sectorial policy based on sustainability. We are currently about to pass a draft bill about sustainable fishing, which encompasses the environmental sustainability with the feasibility of the fishing sector. We hope that this future law is going to be useful in order to modernize and guarantee the continuity of the Spanish fishing sector. In this regard, we should continue to work along the same lines, and we believe that this project has a great potential with regard to disseminating the benefits of eating fish for the general population. This is also important for us Final users must have up-to-date information about the product they are purchasing and full guarantees that the fish has been caught following the regulations. Consumers do appreciate all that information and they are aware about the importance of eating healthy food. The ministry believes in highlighting the value of our seafood products, reinforcing the competitivity of the sector by promoting seafood products, such as the campaigns that we have aligned with Foods of Spain. At the same time, international organizations protecting health and food also believe that seafood consumption is essential for our diet. We all know that eating fish is good for your health because it provides top quality vitamins and nutrients. And there is also a clear relationship between the consumption of bluefish and the prevention of heart diseases because it has at the same time high nutritional qualities and a low carbon footprint. So that's it. Congratulations on your initiative, and I hope the webinar is fruitful. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Carola. I don't know if Rafael is online right now. He's not. So we will continue. Greeting Mercedes Rodríguez, once again from the Regional Ministry of the Seas, Xunta de Galicia. She's going to address a few words about the bilateral memorandum of cooperation. Thank you very much. First of all, and after greeting you all, I would like to apologize, first of all, because the Regional Minister of the Sea couldn't attend because of her timetable. She's currently in Brussels, showing the position of the regional government with regard to the attempt to eliminate the fuel grants for the fishing fleet. The fact that I am here makes me remember that in July 2019, I was also in the same place for the introduction of the approval plan of the FIP Blues initiative. FIP Blues stemmed from the union of the associations of surface longliners associations together with the seafood commercializers. And this type of fishery is made sustainably and responsibly, and we follow a work methodology based on two premises: the full use of shark, because our fleet will sell everything, even when the separation is made on land, and at the same time not catching the most vulnerable shark species. The activities carried out by the longliners is absolutely legal and has nothing to do, just like the president of the port has said, our activities have nothing to do with the practices implemented by third-party countries. We don't have finning, which is banned by the European Union. Our fleet does not do it. However, other international fleets will do it. We have just returned from the latest ICAT meeting, and once again, they have refused to pass a ban about the finning of sharks in the Atlantic. And once again, they have rejected our proposal. That is why we are faced with a situation which is detrimental for the marine ecosystem, for the species, and also for our fleet, because we are being punished given that we follow the rules and others do not. So what is the result? The only result is that our fleet, our activities are hampered. Meanwhile, illegal fleets keep on fishing in an illegal manner. The regional minister is very firm. We once again reiterate our request for finning to be banned internationally. We have proposed to the ICAT to pass this ban, but at the same time, in Brussels, the European Commission should also speak for this ban. we have received some support to our recommendation, but it has not been sufficient. Therefore, our position remains firm. We will continue to request for a regulatory harmonization so that there are no conditions that will hamper our activities as a legal fleet. But we know this is not the single problem that the shark fisheries face. At the same time, blue shark was at once threatened to be included in the list of endangered species in spite of the ICAT scientific information. We also have the problem of the short-fin mako shark, like Patricia said, and there is sometimes a lack of coordination among ministries. And for that reason, we were not able to catch short-fin mako shark. And although it was legally possible to catch short-fin mako shark, then it didn't become possible to sell it. So that is why we must continue to advocate for the legal activities of our fishing fleet. And secondly, we must continue to defend the sustainable growth of this fishery. And that is why the FIP Plus is so important, because it's an entrepreneurial alliance between the producers and the industry, representing 90% of the European catches, 80% of the community supply, and 90% of the European fishing vessels operating across the different oceans. It's also the very first international initiative for a sustainable use of swordfish and blue shark, and guaranteeing that our industry will maintain the highest standards of sustainability. FIP Plus is all about accountability, sustainability, and we will continue to support a sustainable use of fisheries. We know that doing things right today is the only guarantee we've got for a sustainable future. It also generates trust in consumers, since they are aware of the need to consume products which have a low environmental footprint. And it also enhances the accountability of the whole fishing industry for future generations. On behalf of the Regional Ministry of the Sea, we are so happy to be part of this project, FIP Plus, and to be part of this global awareness about the climate challenge and the need to work together so as to tackle it. So once again, I'd like to congratulate you, because our fishing fleet remains at the avant-garde of sustainability. Thank you very much, and I wish you a fruitful seminar. Thank you very much, Mercedes. I'll give the floor now so that they can officially open the meeting to Dr. Teresa Coelho from Portugal. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to speak Portuguese, but very slowly so that you may understand me. First of all, I'd like to congratulate all those present and also those who are following online. I would like to thank the President, Mr. Jesús Vázquez of the Vigo Port Authority, for the introduction of the Sustain Hook project, and I can say that I feel very pleased to be part of the initiative. But first of all, I'd like to highlight the great relationships existing between Spain and Portugal. Great relationships between myself and the regional, or rather the National Secretary of Fisheries of Spain, Galicia. And thanks to our good relationships, we have achieved success in many examples, such as the sardine or pilchard, which is a species that is fished both by Portugal and by Spain. And this project has been very successful. But I would like to reiterate that the relationships between Spain and Portugal are particularly positive here in Galicia. And in recent times, I have traveled to Galicia to speak here, given that there are very obvious close ties between Galicia and Portugal, given that we have Portuguese fishermen and ship owners working together with Galician ship owners and fishermen. This great relationship between Portugal and Spain has made it possible to sign a fisheries agreement between Portugal and Spain last June. The 22nd of November, the royal decree was approved in Portugal. Portugal and Spain, on the other hand, have always joined their efforts in advocating for their fishing interests. The producers' organizations included in FIP Blues include most of our members and also most of the Portuguese longliners fleet. Longliners are very important for both countries. They have tackled many challenges and nowadays they employ many people. They have a very important economic power and they support sustainable fisheries. That is why FIP Blues is so important in order to highlight and reiterate the involvement of the fishing sector with the good practices of sustainability in fishing. And the fact the fisheries are very important for both, but they have to be sustainable. And the most important beneficiaries of the sustainability of fishing are fishermen. And in order to guarantee their employability, we must guarantee the good practices in fishing. As a result of our good fishing policies, the European Commission has recently approved for 2022 the list of results. And in the Northwestern Atlantic, it has approved a list of species that can be caught thanks to the sustainable practices of both countries. This has been achieved thanks to the efforts of both Portuguese and Spanish governments and with the good involvement of the whole professional people working in the fishing sector. The professional fishermen are doing a very good job, so we must congratulate them together with their associations, and all of these actions need to be tackled and reinforced in a framework of cooperation between both countries, and we must carry out important actions at sectorial level with the purpose of reinforcing the interests of both countries and to tackle projects together, such as this project, FIP Blues. The organizations involved in FIP Blues have continued to foster the fishing activities of longliners by guaranteeing the quality of the seafood products. We must make a sustainable type of fishing, which will be the best guarantee of the producers' organizations for the future of fishing. That is why I believe it was important to attend the presentation of the FIP Blues project. And so as to continue to fish sustainably, we must promote a type of fishing which is transparent and which relies on solid scientific data on the certification of the fisheries in order to guarantee the future of the activity. The present and the future has to follow the implementation of good policies that will support the catching activities, the commercialization, and also the interests of NGOs. In Portugal, we have projects such as the Marshallese project, which is a project tackled together with the fishermen's associations with the purpose of collecting garbage at sea so that it can be recycled once on land. At the same time, we have different projects involving ship owners and involving scientists carrying out studies, etc. And we do believe in the capacity to develop good practices in fisheries, promoting the conservation of stocks in order to guarantee the future of fisheries. And that's why I decided I had to be here today. I do believe in the future, and I do believe in the success and the health of fisheries in the future. And that is why we believe we must continue to tackle projects such as the FIP Blues and Sustain Hook. And I would like to thank all of you for taking part in this project to make it sustainable for the future. Thank you.